Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about something I've been playing entirely too much of, and this is Super Hardcore mode in Battlefield 4. Now this actually isn't a game mode, it's a settings that you turn on while you're playing in a hardcore lobby. It pretty much disables all or most of your HUD elements. Now I'm playing on console, so I couldn't quite disable that kill feed at the bottom there, and I couldn't disable grenade indicators. But other than that, everything is turned off. I have no Doritos for enemies. I have no friendly Doritos. So the only way I can tell who's friendly and who's an enemy is by how they act and, of course, their character model. And this is a really cool little feature because DICE did put a lot of effort into making each faction look unique, including their vehicles, so you can usually guess who's in what. I'm not going to say I never team kill, but majority of the time I don't. Sometimes if I'm really twitchy and a guy rounds a corner on me, I might fire before I fully identify the target, and well, then it gets kind of awkward, and then you have to sort of send an apology message over the PSN. But that's getting off the point. And anyways, I'd first heard of this on Matimio's channel. He's the first one, to my knowledge, to do this. I'm not saying he owns the game mode, but if he was the first where I'd heard about it. I did try this a few months back when he did his first video on it, but it wasn't quite as good then because it was before the big fall patch that changed and balanced out a lot of the things, and so hopefully I can try it again. And I have not been able to stop playing this. Like, I have logged an extra 20 hours probably in the past week just doing Super Hardcore mode because I find it really, really satisfying. It reminds me a lot of Insurgency. A game which I play a lot of back when I had my good gaming computer available to me. But it's such a different feel to the Battlefield game, which I know, like, usually you'd rely on your mini-map or, just the 3D spotting system rather than just the tracer fire or the visual and audio cues in game. And right here, what happens up in this clip, I hear a guy coming behind me, his footsteps, I turn around, and I secure the kill. And I usually don't do that in Battlefield, because, when the game first launched, you couldn't hear enemy footsteps at all. They were incredibly quiet compared to friendly footsteps. But not in this fall patch, they changed that. So now you can rely on your ears a lot more. And it reminds me a lot of something like Counter-Strike, or, even, I hate to say this, but Call of Duty Ghosts had really good footsteps in it. And I'm just really glad that's in the game now, and it really adds the experience. And I feel like this is a much more, I wouldn't say advanced, but a much more complicated but rewarding way to play Battlefield. Like, usually you don't have to worry about a teammate shooting you or you shooting a teammate, but now you really have to identify your targets. You're like, here, I could have sworn that guy was on the Chinese team. I turned and, well, got a team kill. And then, of course, the national Chinese comes and wrecks my shit. But yeah, you see, like, I make mistakes like that, not too often, but, it's maybe once a game, because I had no way of, knowing whether or not once he was behind that little box. So I had to make the choice before he turned that corner, am I going to shoot or am I going to wait? And I chose to shoot. And while playing TDM like I have been in these last few clips, I just found I really prefer the high rate of fire weapons in hardcore because they just tend to wreck. But when I'm actually playing a Conquest or Conquest Large or Rush, I really prefer the burst fire weapons because then I'm able to get accuracy at range, but I'm also able to actually judge how many shots I've fired just by how many times I pull the trigger, because I know each time I pull that trigger, that's 3 rounds down range, and you have 10 trigger pulls per magazine. So it's just a nice way for me to keep track of my ammunition while I'm playing, because there is, of course, no HUD. I have no way of telling how many mags I have. Just if I shot a lot, I reload. If I didn't, I keep going with the mag I have. And now, this is a game that I would highly recommend trying out if you're someone who's looking for a bit more challenge, a bit more realism in the game. And this is a really immersive experience. Like, I should point that out. Like, while you're playing this, if you half-ass, if you just sort of, lean back in your chair and just sort of drink a Coke and play all casually, you're gonna do terrible. This is a game that requires you to pretty much use all of your senses except for smell and taste, of course, and just really, really focus on what's in the world around you, what you can pick up on, and that's the way you're gonna be able to come out on top. And something I should point out is, while playing this, once I get into it, once I get my full focus on, here's a false positive I got because I spotted an enemy and ended up shooting a teammate. But one thing I should point out is that I'm usually near the top of the scoreboards every time, and that sort of baffles me, because I am playing at such a disadvantage, you know? Like, I don't have the same things that all these other people playing have. I don't have friendly Doritos, I don't have the objective markers or anything, so you think I'd be doing a lot worse, but since I think I'm relying more on my senses and more the information in-game is telling me, because there is still a lot of information to pick up on just from audio and visual cues, like I said before. I think it actually improves you as a player slightly once you get it down. Anyways, guys, I would highly recommend giving this a try if you want to do your Battlefield experience. And I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit that like button, click me in the content videos, that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.